Intuition is no joke, and I'm sure you've had that experience where internally you felt guided to or against something and you ignored it, and then later on it's like, I should have listened to myself. I knew I was right about that. Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. I'm Tiffany, and here at Goddessie, I talk about embodying your inner goddess through physical appearance, mindset, and divine feminine wisdom. Today we'll be covering mindset and the topic of self-care. At the end of this video, you'll know how to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, energetically in social settings. The first one is trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Only you know what's right or wrong for you, therefore you're the only one who can decide whether it is right for you to accept something, to participate in something. If it goes against how you feel, if it goes against your own personal values, don't do it. Don't be coerced into doing it. You're living for you, and therefore others have to live for themselves. If you're not comfortable with something, don't do it. Do not betray yourself in order to make other people comfortable, in order to honor other people. You're busy honoring yourself, and so they should be busy honoring themselves. Intuition is no joke, and I'm sure you've had that experience where internally you felt guided to or against something and you ignored it, and then later on it's like, I should have listened to myself. I knew I was right about that. And so just start to honor that moving forward. So the second one is say exactly what you mean. Have you ever been in a situation where, for example, you got asked to go somewhere, and in that moment you already know it's a no, but you say, yeah, I'll go, because you think that later on or between now and the time that you need to go, you'll convince yourself that yes, I want to go. But then when the time comes now, you're in a war with yourself because you don't want to go, and then you're trying to find some type of excuse or some type of lie to get out of it last minute. Do yourself a favor and say what you mean in that moment. It will help you and your future self, and it'll also help the other person. Being respectful of the other person and their time and their energy. If someone is giving you something and it's something that you want, it's something that you prayed for, this is your prayers being answered, say yes. Say thank you and receive it. Say and do what you mean. Be true to yourself. The third one, don't be a people pleaser. People pleasing is when you're pleasing others to the point of self-neglect. You no longer exist. It's always about other people, to the point that you're living your life for other people and no longer for you. Of course, it's okay and encouraged to make your friends and your loved ones happy, but not to the point where you're neglecting yourself. That's when it becomes abuse, whether it's self-inflicted or, well, I would argue that it's always self-inflicted, because what you put up with is what you end up with, and you always have the power and the free will to say yes or no. Yes, it depends on the situation, but most times you have the power to accept or not accept, to participate or not participate in whatever it is that you want to or don't want to. Especially for mothers, because it's understandable they're in a position of taking care of another human life. So yeah, they do need to neglect themselves at some point. But if your body's shutting down, you're no help to the child or to whoever else you're taking care of. So don't be a people pleaser to the point of self-neglect. The fourth one, never speak badly about yourself. Like, don't. Yourself is always listening. And then the more you self-hate, like, oh, I don't like myself, or this, I don't like this about myself, blah, 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 blah. Yourself is hearing you. A belief is a thought you keep thinking, and then what you perceive becomes your reality. And then if you're being mean to yourself, you're also telling others how to treat you. Also, like, help yourself by not putting attention on things that you feel insecure about. Let your insecurities be something between you and you, so that you can deal with it in a much more controlled environment, in a much more steady way. When you have the entire world looking at it now, it's just kind of harder for you to deal with it. Everybody is insecure about something. So most times when we think other people are looking at us and judging us, they're busy looking at themselves and judging themselves in their mind. Be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. How would you talk to your young self? How would you want your child self to be spoken to? How would you want your child self to be treated? That's how you should treat yourself. Treat yourself gently. How would you want people to speak to you? Speak to yourself that way. The final one, which is my favorite one, is be your own best friend. You can't go wrong with that, sweetie. Not saying you can't have other best friends, of course, but you are your main best friend. be your own best friend. You are always with yourself. You can't escape yourself. Spend time with yourself. Really get to know you outside of what society expects of you, or what your friend group expects of you, or what your friend group feel like you should be. Like, spend a week just by yourself, Netflix and chill with yourself. Go on walks by yourself. Just sit down and just be and hear your own thoughts and hear how you feel and what is your true opinion on things. And you don't have to share with anybody else, especially if it's going to cause a conflict. You have every right to protect yourself because you are your own best friend. Uplift yourself. Be honest with yourself. Get to know your true you. What is it that you truly desire? Apart from what your parents expect, apart from what your friends expect, your family, apart from what society say you should be. What is it that you like? Even what are your kinks? Nobody, like I said, like nobody has to know this. This is just between you and you. Have a relationship with you. The relationship that you have with yourself is the most important relationship, and it also determines the type of relationship that you have with other people. Nurture your relationship with yourself so that you can have successful, healthy relationships with others. You want a healthy love relationship? You need to love yourself, sweetie. You need to enjoy your own company. You need to be able to make your own self happy. No one knows you better than you. And sometimes you don't even know yourself fully. So how can someone else fill that void for you? What is it that you really dream of? Even if you feel like it's impossible. Even if you feel like it's in a parallel universe. Like, just be honest with yourself. Even journal with yourself. In the long run, it will benefit everybody. Because when your cup is full, you have more to give. Alright, so those are 5 steps you can take towards self-care, which will improve your social relationships. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!